Sistas fans, there have been several people who have commented or DM'd me to do a video. Jeremy, do a video on whether or not you think Andi could possibly be daydreaming or having a nightmare about Gary coming out of the bathroom. Honestly, I kind of wrote that off at first. 'Cause I'm like, that's just I don't know. I just, a bit far-fetched. I mean, the Priscilla daydreaming about, shooting Victoria and whatnot, that definitely felt more like, okay, that's great to get insight into the character. But at first, like I said, I wanted to dismiss the Andi thing. But then when I thought about it more, I'm like, that could actually work. It could actually work. Basically, you have Andi who's, who was tipsy the night before, and well, it's weird because whenever she's having issues with Gary, it's like instead of confronting those issues, she just decides to drink and then have sex with somebody who's not Gary just to get rid of that tension and whatnot, but then eventually gets back together with him. I don't know, it's weird. But basically, that could actually work. Like she's getting ready to go to work, or excuse me, she's about to wake up. Like I'm pretty sure we've all had dreams like this where we wake up before our alarm clock, or we have a dream and the dream ends the moment we wake up, and like maybe something in the real world inserts itself into the dream, like an alarm is like a bomb ticking or a microwave going off, and then boom, oh yeah, I gotta get ready for school, I gotta get ready for work or something other. It would make sense because if, let's say, it turns out she's dreaming about Gary and then wakes up, I feel like that would kind of parallel the whole Karen and Zach thing. I want to be honest here. Now that I think about it, wouldn't it have been cool to kind of have moments where, how Aaron always talked about how Karen had those nightmares and she'd be calling for Zach, and I'm talking like early season 2 after the whole Bean situation and breaking into her house trying to kill her, and then Zach got stabbed or whatever. Those moments would have been great, like even little flashbacks. Those would have been moments where flashbacks would have worked, where it's like maybe black and white and we hear the screaming and everything and the gunshots, and then Karen will wake up. Because a lot of people have said that's one thing that Karen hasn't really done, and faced her demons, from all the shit that she went through with Fawn, Aaron's ex-wife, and all the drama and danger she brought along with it. But with Andi, her Jasmine would be her Fawn, if you will. But I really think Andi having this nightmare would make sense. She wakes up and then instead of Gary, it's just Robin beside her. There's no threesome going on. It's just the two of them. And then that could be one of the reasons why she maybe moves on from Gary. But that doesn't really make sense because in the promo, Gary says, I bought you this car. Andi says it's too late, but then there's a scene where Andi and Karen are driving this new blue car, and then it looks like the cops are trying to pull them over. So it's just one of those things where this seems like one of those things where as a fan base, we've come up with a better concept than what the show was going to execute. So yeah, I don't know. What do you think? Do you think Andi could just be having a dream or a nightmare about Gary coming out of the bathroom in regards to the threesome? Because if it isn't a dream, I'm very curious to see how this is going to work out, because if he came out of that bathroom and said, can I join in, how is he going to then in good conscience decide, hey Andi, I bought you this car so we could work it out, when your whole thing in season 3 was, I can't get it up, I can't sleep with you, Andi, I can't touch you because all I could think about is you touching, or that other man touching on you, in regards to Paris. But you are well aware that she had sex or a threesome with Robin before, and literally had sex with him this night before you came out of the bathroom. And assuming you did not take part in the threesome, you are aware that Robin and Andi had sex, yet you want to get back together. I'm confusing myself trying to dissect how it makes sense if this is not a dream, but let's talk about it more in the comment section below. Perhaps you all have some insight that I don't. So go ahead and thumbs up the video to show you like it. Hit subscribe as we get closer to 200,000 subscribers. Hit that bell icon and select all. That way you don't miss out when I post content on the channel. Follow me on social media. Links are in the description. And if you would like to donate, feel free to do so on PayPal or Cash App.